This is a new technique known as induced breeding of carp as well as prawn. That is what is expected from your syllabus. The purpose of this kind of technique is that fish will be naturally reproducing, but the natural reproduction or production of egg will be very limited or in very few numbers. So if we want to get more profit, we need more fish young ones. The only way by which is to artificially stimulate the fish to produce more egg. That technique is what we call by the name induced breeding or an induced method of fish reproduction. So induced breeding refers to artificial stimulation of the reproductive process. Naturally, the fish will be reproducing maybe only during certain months of the year, maybe during monsoon time. But during summer season, it may not be reproducing. It may not be producing egg. For every living organism, there is a natural time during which only it will be having its reproduction. So that is the case with the fish also. But if we are cultivating fish in a large scale, we need more fish. We need young ones maybe throughout the year. So the only method for is to artificially recreate this reproductive process every month. So this technique is crucial or important for controlled breeding in aquaculture, especially when natural spawning condition most of the time is heavy rain, monsoon season, cannot be met, or when farmers want to improve the production efficiency. Sometimes some type of carp species may be producing only smaller size fish. We need fish with a larger body size. So what we do, we will be collecting those varieties. From those varieties, we will be artificially producing lot of fish eggs, and then we will be introducing those eggs into our aquacultural farm, so that we will be getting bigger size of fish. So this is the purpose why reason why which farmers are going into this kind of technique. The process involved use of hormones, because there are different type of hormone, especially progesterone. Progesterone is one of the main hormone which is stimulating the ovulation and also egg production. So more egg will be released, and other methods to trigger spawning at a desired time. Spawning means laying of egg. So normally during only June, July season, the fish may be reproducing. But by this mechanism, we can produce eggs of fish on any month of the year. So that is the advantage of induced breeding. Below is here we will be discussing about two species. One is known as a carp species. Carp belongs to the group known as Cyprinidae. Now there are different type of carp species are there. One is common carp. I will show you a picture of this is a common carp aquaculture. Then we have also studied about rohu in your practical class. Then katla is there, mrigal is there. Yesterday I have shown the pictures of these three types of fish. So all these type of fish are known as a carp species. In Kerala also, a lot of people are doing this carp aquaculture because it's a fast growing fish, easy to rear, and also very tasty also. So that market value of the carp is more than the market value of tilapia. So these are the commonly bred and induced breeding techniques. These species are important for freshwater aquaculture and commercial fisheries due to their faster growth rate. So that is one reason why people are selecting this. They have a faster growth and higher market value. You know that fishes like kanamba and other things have a higher market value and are quite adaptable to our local condition. So that is the reason why farmers are choosing carp. Carp and tilapia are one of the common type of aquaculture practices going on in our state. So here there is a picture of what are the main steps which are involved in carp aquaculture. Now we are also thinking of introducing a technique like in our college also soon. So here you can see the large cans are they are using. This table size can. This aquaculture tanks will be there. So that growing of the fish and maintenance process will be more easier than in a natural pond-like setup. Natural pond will be bigger and more space for movement, but here it will be smaller, less space for movement. But monitoring the water quality and other parameters is more easier in a tank of this much size. So what are the steps in a induced breeding? Induced breeding is commonly done by injecting fish hormone, normally the pituitary extract or synthetic hormones to trigger ovulation. So what we do is that we will be collecting the pituitary extract or pituitary hormones from some other fish, and we will be using that pituitary hormones to trigger ovulation in females and spermiation, that is release of sperms in the case of male. So these are the two methods. Mainly we are injecting hormones of pituitary. Pituitary hormones are injected, and these pituitary hormones are actually collected from some other type of fish also. Then one is the selection of breeding stock. Breeding stock means earlier I told you that farmers are always preferring certain type of fish variety than other type, because some fish variety may be producing smaller size fish, some may be producing larger size fish. Naturally, fish with the larger the size may be more bringing more market value than a smaller size fish. So that is the advantage of that. So farmers will be selecting those variety, and those varieties are known as a breeding stock. Healthy mature males. Healthy mature males usually 2 to 4 years old. So there should be a time, there should be a growth stage from which only we will be collecting the sperms or egg are normally collected. They should show signs of maturity such as swollen genital papillae. That is an indication that they are mature. They are reproductively mature. Only such a fish with a growth period of 2 to 4 years are normally collected as far as males are concerned. These females are also. Similarly, mature females are selected based on the size of the female, health of the female, and appearance of the. That is, the farmers will be, from their experience, will have an idea that this male and this female are ideal for collecting eggs and sperm. So from that type of fish only, which are producing larger fish with the larger body size are normally selected. Then hormonal stimulation, the pituitary extract, the pituitary gland from mature fish, usually carp species, is collected, dried and powdered. That is, from one fish we will be killing that fish, and we will be collecting the pituitary gland from that, and we will be drying it, and we will make a powder from that. That powder will be containing pituitary hormone. This hormone is actually injected into other fish, and this extract contains gonadotropin that induce ovulation and germination and spermiation. So these are the two important processes. This extract contains gonadotropin that induce ovulation in females and spermiation in male. Alternatively, synthetic hormones like HCG. HCG is a hormone may be produced by different mechanism. Even by biotechnology, we can produce HCG. Luteinizing hormone (LH) are also used. So anything, sometimes we will be using pituitary hormone, or we can directly use HCG, or LH hormones are also used. Now, how hormone injection is being done? Here you can see that the injection of the hormone. It's a very simple process. Hormones are injected using a syringe into the abdomen of the fish. So male and female fish are given injection of the pituitary extract or synthetic hormone. So hormones can be naturally collected by killing some mature fish, or it can be artificially produced by biotechnology like HCG or LH. Typically, female receive higher dose to stimulate ovulation. More pituitary hormone should be given in the case of female, while male receive a smaller dose to induce spermiation. So that is amount of pituitary hormone that we are injecting into the male and the female are different. Females should be given more higher dose. Males need only smaller dose. This injection is administered intramuscularly. That is, we are injecting it into the muscle of the fish. That is known as intramuscularly, and the fish are kept in a well oxygenated water environment after the injection. That is, Once the injection is given, we will be keeping the fish in a setup like this, because that the fish need a lot of clear water, lot of oxygen, and the maintenance of the water quality is all important, because such a fish into which we have injected hormone are highly sensitive. Then sometimes they may die because we have given an injection. We have interfered with their normal biological process. So we have to care them very properly for some weeks. Then only it will start producing egg. So during that time, the quality of the water in which it is living should be monitored very carefully. So this is regarding the hormonal stimulation. You can see the picture of how hormonal stimulation is being conducted. Then time for spawning. Spawning means actually egg laying or laying of the spore. After the hormone injection, spawning process usually take place within 8 to 12 hours. So within a period of 12 hours, this spawning process is normally taking place. Female will release eggs, male will release sperm to fertilize the egg. So we will be collecting sperm from one fish and eggs from another fish. If the natural spawning does not occur within the expected time, gentle massage of the abdomen can be used to release eggs from the female. So sometimes what happens, even after a period of 12 hours, the fish may not be releasing the sperms or egg. Then what farmers are doing is that by stimulating the abdomen or massaging their abdomen, they will be allowed to release the egg. Then spawning time setup. Typically, the spawning is typically carried out breeding tank or hatchery tank, which is designated with soft or clean water. Here you can see that a tank like this will be used. They are under spawning or hatchery tank. They are specially designed so that monitoring of the fish is way more easier. Then, so spawning is typically carried out in a breeding tank or hatchery pond, which is designated with soft, clean water. Water temperature is controlled. The tank should have a gentle current or aeration to mimic the natural spawning condition of the carp. Because normally during monsoon time there will be heavy rain and the water in the pond will be always moving. Now right now when the rainfall is there is some movement in the water. So we have to stimulate that water movement. See when we are not using it, water will remain stagnant. There is no movement in the water. That will not facilitate the spawning process. So there should be some water movement in the water. The tanks are equipped with artificial spawning mat or bamboo structures to support egg attachment. Then we will be introducing some bamboo pieces so that fish can find hiding place for laying the egg. Here also you can see that. See, they have collected the eggs of the fish. So these eggs will be released into the what we call the breeding tank, where this mixing of egg and sperm will be taking place, or fertilization will be taking place. Here you can find the carp species. Then the time for spawning after the injection. Once the eggs are fertilized, they are transferred to hatching tank with the optimal environmental condition. The water temperature needed should be around 25 to 28 degree, and fertilized eggs hatch into larva within 2 to 3 days. So you can see that within a period of 1 week we can complete this whole process. We can create new young ones also, and then harvesting and stopping. After harvesting, larvae are reared into tertiary pots or tanks until they grow into the fingerlings. Fingerlings means young or the babies of the fish. They are known as the fingerlings. Once the fingerlings reach an appropriate size, they are transferred to grow out pond. Grow out pond means larger tanks where the fish will be growing and we will be giving the food. So this is an idea of how this whole process is going on. Now another case is the breeding of prawn. So what we were discussing today is regarding the breeding of prawn, carp species. Next is regarding how the breeding in prawn is being conducted. One is the macrobrachium and Penaeus species. These are the two common species which are used in induced breeding of prawns. So especially the freshwater prawn. Freshwater prawn is scientifically known by the name macrobrachium rosenbergi and Penaeus vanami. Vanami is another prawn known as a marine prawn. So these are the two common prawns which are used in prawn aquaculture or prawn breeding. So induced breeding process of prawn. The idea is same. We will be selecting the breeding stock. We will be stimulating stimulating the fish for hormonal production. Then we will be collecting sperms and eggs. So here also we have to select the brood stock selection. The brood stock should be always healthy. Healthy, sexually mature prawns are selected. Female prawns are typically larger than male. So that is the natural thing. And mature females will have visible eggs in their abdomen. So that also we can see that. And mature males show developed gonopore. So by simply looking at the prawn, we can identify whether this female prawn is mature for collecting eggs, and similarly male prawn are ideal for collecting the sperm. The ideal breed should be healthy without any signs of disease or injury. The reason is that this induced breeding process is a biologically invasive process. It is interfering with the natural activity of the fish. So when we are injecting hormone, the physiological mechanism of the fish may be altered or changed. So that will put fish into a stress or strain. So there is a possibility of fish may be getting dead as a result of this hormonal injection. That is why we have to collect healthy, larger size, disease-free fish. Then second is hormonal stimulation. Coming to the hormonal stimulation of breeding prawns, one is pituitary gland extract, or you can use synthetic hormones like mating hormone or crustacean growth hormone. These are the different types of hormones which are used, either naturally collected hormone or artificially produced one. Pituitary gland extract will be obtained from mature female prawns, is often used to induce ovulation because the cost of collection is less. And this extract is injected to female to release the eggs. Mating hormone, this is a hormone which is artificially produced, and that is helpful in producing both ovulation as well as spermatogenesis. Now the injection and mating process, whether we are using pituitary gland extract or we are using a mating hormone, the purpose is to induce ovulation, and the males are injected with a lower dose. As I told you, in the case of carp species, lower dose may be sufficient. The body size of the male will be smaller. Females have a larger body size. After hormone injection, spawns are transferred into spawning tank. Here you can see that we will be using tanks like this, and this type of tanks will be utilized also for prawn. The basic techniques are same whether we are using carp aquaculture or in the use of prawn aquaculture. Then you can also see that spawning condition. What are the conditions that should be maintained? One is water parameter. Water parameter, most important thing is the salinity of the water. That should be between 5 to 15 parts per thousand. So that is one important condition. Temperature it should be around 28 to 30 degree for prawns. For fish it should be 25 to 28 degrees. Slight difference is that. That is, our water conditions are generally suitable for this. Then breeding tank. Tank should be equipped with aeration and gentle water. That is some kind of movement. It should not be stagnant like the water in aquarium tank. We should allow some kind of water circulation. Then only the prawns will be stimulated to produce or release eggs. Then coming to the egg development, you can see that the egg development after fertilization, female prawn carries the fertilized eggs on her pleopods. Pleopods are the legs of the swimming legs. For several days, eggs typically hatch within a period of 10 to 14 days. Within a period of 2 weeks, we can find that eggs are developing into larvae. Once eggs hatch into larvae, the first larval stage is known as a suvia larva. You might have studied about that. Are released into water. They undergo several molt, and finally we are reaching the adult or juvenile prawn. The larval rearing, the larvae are transferred to larval rearing tank. There should be separate tank for rearing of larvae, growing of mature prawns. or nursery ponds where they are fed high diet protein. So one advantage of separating larva from adult is that adult will be needing lower protein diet, but larva will be needing higher protein diet. The growth of the larva into post-larva and juvenile take nearly 1 month or 30 days. Proper water management, filtration, aeration, nutrition. So that is why I have earlier told you tanks like this one may be more suitable for this kind of inducer breeding. In a natural pond, maintaining water temperature and oxygenation are all very much difficult than a smaller tank. So that is regarding the larval rearing and post-hatchery rearing. Once the post-larva reach an appropriate size, they will be transferred to grow-out ponds or larger rearing ponds where they grow until they reach the final size. So this is an idea of how this rearing process or induced breeding process is conducted in the use of prawn. So we have two cases. One, we have to study the induced breeding in carp, and we have to also explain induced breeding in the use of prawn. The basic steps in both are same.